This is 455, but this is 414. And this is Moses Lake, Washington, 5th and Avenue, when their services that have the debut services COVID-19 policy and regulations. Right across the street is Worksource Center, and also across the street is 421 South Balsam, the compound facility where they can bring all the items for seizure and times and savers, and also the services where they have all the items and they close it up and lock it up. So if someone wants to pick it up, they can pick it up. They got their services here at the museum, which is right next to 401 South Balsam City Hall. And the services they have, administration office, you can carry out the executive COVID-19 policy regulation services. And the prosecutor of Washington State is the prosecutor for Benton, Seattle, Tacoma, Moses Lake, Ephrata, because we got the biggest facilities on the planet. Most powerful man in the world. Most powerful man in the world. He's undefeated in Seattle, undefeated in Tacoma, undefeated in Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Kansas City, and my hatchet. He's actually in my funeral home. He's in my parlor. His name's George Washington. I got his dentures, I got his three-piece suit, and I got the military uniform inside the museum here, at the museum here. Mr. Colin Powell himself. Mr. Colin Powell, I got his name, his YouTube services, increments, his last and first name. We're at the DOV because it's my DOV. So why don't you come on over right now? Andy Miller, we're on YouTube live. Why don't you get all my property out of the museum and bring it on over and process the gentleman? He thinks he owns everything, sir. I'm sitting right here in Collins Dispatch, State Patrol, U.S. Marshal's Office, Administration Office, Kennewick City Hall, Richland City Hall, Administration processing increments on the flag. The flag don't belong to you. The service of the courtrooms and the court benches and the courtroom jury and nooses. And the lethal injection, which is COVID-19. The COVID-19 regulation policy requirement for the Washington State Bar Association. I was hit by a truck. This is a ramp, just like the George Washington House. They got a little ramp. It's convenient, you know. Wheelchair access and crutches, and also no CAT scans here because they just run you over here in Moses Lake, leave you for dead, pretty much. And that became a $35 million balance at the JP Chase Bank, Morgan Chase Bank here at 323 South Division. This is where it all began. We got a museum artifact service. We got the George Washington uniform, three-piece, asking for $3 million for it. Most likely you'll probably be selling for $5 million. You bring it to the museums and the service online, and this George Washington suit and Mr. 42C Street. Remember, this is 414. 414, administration. 414. In the 414, you got the entire parking lot, the U.S. Bank parking lot, the Chase Bank parking lot, the museum, City Hall. You got the Third Inn right across the street. Used to be Sunland Motel. The Sunland Motel has all the artifacts of the service here at the administration. You know, Mr. Andy Miller is the most powerful man on the planet. Faxing information straight from the administration office and proving the fact that I have vault keys and stolen checkbooks and credit cards, and also there's laptops in Andy Miller's possession because he's the most powerful man on the planet. So I gave him my laptop, gave him my birth certificate and the service, and this says 422. You can get your birth certificate, you can get your driver's license here in Moses Lake. The church services has this service online. You can worship, you can have Bible studies, 765-4342, just like George Washington House, 42, George Washington House. And the phone number is 4343, just like George Washington House. George Washington was the first president of the United States of America. They got his dentures, and that's Mr. Greenborough. Mr. Greenborough worked on George Washington's teeth, and he had one tooth remaining in his whole body, running dentures. The three-piece seat, they're selling that for $3 million, and hopefully it'll be worth $5 million. After that bid for $3 million, it's going to be worth $5 million. I mean, President Obama, he owes the United States government $5 million for his new house. Mr. President Obama owes Felix Barela $5 million because Mr. Obama has children. The Benton County facility was holding Mr. Obama because of his services. He couldn't prove that he was a U.S. citizen at the time being. He had a little round proving that his birth certificate and documents were not proving that he's a U.S. citizen. Mr. Colin Powell, he resides in Nebraska. Donald Rumsfeld resides in Kansas City. And my service in my house and resides in Nebraska, Cozad, North Platte, Kearney, Wyoming, Gillette, Casper, Montana, Missoula, Walker County, and Billings, Montana, and also Colorado, Denver, Boulder, Colorado, and the residents all the way into Kansas City, Wichita, and Kansas City has a factory. Nebraska has a factory for Air Force One and also Doomsday airplanes for command services. And they still have all the, Larson Airport has all the information online. Mr. Bill for People Bus, Mr. Justin and Mr. Dan and Annalisa and Karen at I-90 have buses. And Annalisa has a bus at People Bus, has in Warden, Washington, which they caught to watch potato on fires engulfed in flames. We got on YouTube services. We have Lamb Weston trains, the training ride services, and we have communication with the train services before the fire broke out. We're on the water lines, the Mannix, Lindy, Maxfields, Lindsay's, Maxfields, Rikens, Zimatics, and Rikens, Maxfields, Lindsay's, Rikens, Lindsay's. These are all ordinances at Scone, O'Connor, Wash, and Potato, Lamb Weston, and also services they got for the packaging produce for harvest, and it's called Tater Boy. Original name called Lamb Weston. The blades are blades, razor sharp blades. The water lines are 65 miles an hour. Goes to razor sharp blades and becomes final product. Stacked on pallets and processed and keyed. And also in the trimming and final product for washed potato and trimming all the products through all the Spudniks, Lockwoods, and John Deere Evergreen equipment. And then goes into this area of the population, Moses Lake on 5th Avenue. But people can't handle that situation because we got a gigantic compound facility, 421, a storage facility, that holds all the stolen guns, all the stolen money, all the counterfeit money, and also money, drugs, paraphernalia, guns, bicycles, laptops. Anything in possession is stolen and does not belong to them goes right into the 421 Balsam area. Look it, right across the street. We got this gentleman on YouTube who stepped out of his vehicle, walked right across the street. You notice he didn't park his vehicle on this side. He parks his vehicle on the other side. Mr. J. Mueller Administration Office and Mr. J. Mueller are Mormons, LDS, presidents and vice presidents of the Mormon LDS Church in Richland, called Gage Boulevard, the biggest temple you've ever seen on your planet. Biggest temple you've seen in New York City, and which is Chase Bank. Chase Bank is right next to the new Mormon church that they have for the LDS Church. This is First Church of Nazareth, 1952. And this is the church, the first church of services they have and employing their increments of the society of 1952 in the 50s. The granite, the headstones, the services, these this used to be Benson's Funeral Home right down the road. There's Farmer's Corner out, which is on the decking, the polymerizing of the updating of the farm and the decking and the service. And the granite stone comes into effect for the administration with GTA's 5th in the division, which is the bus station. It used to be Benson's Funeral Home down the road, and their services and that's Mueller's Funeral Home, LDS Church on Potato, right off I-90. And the sidewalk goes all the way to the Aquatic Center. And also the Aquatic Center used to be the bus station. Now it's 5th and Division. The Benson Funeral Home is a bus station now. And Farmers Market, and also the updating on Alder, which is U.S. Bank. And also Division is 323 South Division. And 5th and Division is the bus station called GTA. Bus barns at the airport in Boeing. And they do have the services here done at 5th and Balsam. Right across the street is WorkSource Center. The Work Center is WorkSource Center and Skills Center. And also the management services is 309. And that's address on 5th Avenue. This is Balsam on 5th Avenue. And First Church of Nazareth. Now on 56C Street, as you can see, the